It's episode number 16 of the Chris Rose rotation on John Boy Media. Y'all know what day it is. It's Air Rojas deal. Miguel Rojas of the Miami Marlins. What's up, my friend?
Everything is good, man. Did you see that play that I made the other day?
Heck yeah, I did.
You know that guy? So Air Rojas part number 2 right there.
Yeah, I mean, have we printed the t-shirts yet for this one?
No, I think it's going to be the same one, but we have to bring more now, I guess.
Where does this rank among your great defensive plays?
Man, I think this had some kind of, difficulty because I was running from the, when you're playing full shift against right-handed hitters, you have to run all across your positioning to get to second base, and then actually catching the ball on the run, step on the back, and then make a throw. And then I actually jump over the guy. But it was a good play overall. It wasn't just myself. I gotta give credit to all my teammates. I just catch the ball that it was really hard, and then he make a great flip to me, and then Cooper picking up in first base. I couldn't do it without my teammates. So I'm not gonna take that play to the top, but it was definitely top 5.
It better be top 5. If that doesn't make your top 5, geez, holy smokes, come on, dude.
I had some sick plays in the past, so I'll get into the highlights a little bit more. I don't like watching myself that much, but I will get into the highlights and I will show you a couple that they're probably better than that one for sure.
Oh, I like that. But you know what? You could just bring them to class if you wanted. We could do a show and tell one day, and you could just here, we'll make a deal. You can bring all your great defensive plays, and I'll bring all of my great defensive plays from over the years.
I like that. Yeah. How many defensive play during the spring trainings that you attend and you was doing?
Well, you probably didn't see this, but many years ago, probably 6 years ago or so, Laura and I went and covered the Colorado Rockies in spring training, and they allowed me to actually do some PFPs and stuff with the pitchers. Mm-hmm. I am the only guy in the history of the sport on a pickoff move to second to overthrow DJ LeMahieu, who might be the tallest second baseman in the history of baseball. I overthrew him by about 3 feet.
And that's not even you catching the ball. You're throwing it, that's tough to do, man.
Yeah, I just airmailed it. So I was sick. I sucked. It was horrible. All right, let's check in on our boy, Jazz Chisholm. And by the way, those of you standing by for Justin Turner, he will be joining us momentarily. He and Miggy, teammates not only with the Dodgers, but before that. So you're going to want to stick around for that story. The world champion of the LA Dodgers getting ready to join us momentarily. But your boy Jazz Chisholm has been killing it ever since he was a guest on this podcast. Did he lose some swag points the other day when his chain broke while rounding first?
No, actually, that's actually what he wants, He wants stuff like that to happen so he can, now when the chain broke, he's going to be on TV just because of that. Because he got all the chain hanging, I can afford to do that. I'm one of the players that I will never play with all my jewelry on the field. So kudos to him because he's doing that. He's just gonna go get extra airtime there. That's what he wants. He wants to be on the TV. He got a knock to the opposite field, and now he gotta deal with that chain situation. But no, not losing swag points. He's actually gaining.
It's interesting.
TV air on TV.
That's really interesting. By the way, I've never been a great chain guy. I think I had one when I was a teenager, but I love them. I love the look. I just don't think I can pull it off.
Right.
How do guys play baseball? Some of them look heavy.
That's exactly what I think, and especially guy like him, he got a lot going on there, 4 of them. And then Aguilar from first base is always screaming at him, hey, Jazz, get your chains out, because Jazz is always trying to get on him to get the chains out so he can play better, because when he got the chains out, he's lighting everybody up. So I don't know how they do it. I can't really do it because I'm gonna be worrying about if one of my chains get break, I don't really want to spend extra money, on getting it fixed or getting a new one. I'm not that kind of guy.
No, you got to save your dough for your shoes and your Jordans.
Exactly. That's why I will go to play Jordans that people asked me last year, like Vladdy Guerrero Jr. I got a pair of Jordan 1s a collaboration with another like really good brand in Off-White. So he asked me, how come you using those shoes on the field, you know? And I say, yeah, man, I don't like that's what I like to do, you know. Like I'll spend money and I put it on the field just because I like to wear my Jordan shoes.
So with those Jordans, you have those specially made for baseball?
Yeah, a couple of them, especially in the past, before I start working with Stadium Custom Cleats, the guys who are painting my shoes now.
Yeah.
So I used to get the original Jordans, the basketball shoes, and then I send it to a company that they put cleats on the bottom. So I was wearing the shoes that I like. I was wearing on the field until I got like a really bad hamstring injury in 2000. I think it was in 2018 that I had that injury, and like I actually broke one of my tendons, and it was because I was wearing those spikes, and because they're kind of heavy, you know. They're not baseball cleats. They're basketball shoes, and then you put cleats on the bottom to play baseball. But I actually stopped doing that when that happened to me.
Got it. Hey, congratulations on career hit number 500 for a guy who it took almost a decade to make it to the major leagues. Mm-hmm. Was it emotional?
Yeah, I didn't know it was happening, you know, because I wasn't paying attention to that mark, you know, like 500 hits. A lot of people will say that's what Altuve gets in 2.5 years, you know. But for a guy like me, man, remember my path to the big leagues and that baseball right there means so much, because a lot of people didn't believe that I was gonna be able to play in the big leagues, and especially being an everyday player. Everybody put a label on me and a tag on my forehead that I was a defensive guy. Then getting to a number like that after the fact that I hit it and I didn't know what was going on. Freddie Freeman was asking me at first what number or what hit it was, and I didn't even know anything because I wasn't paying attention to the number. But it means a lot, you know. After I sit down after the game and I post a little thing about my grandmother and the people who really helping me get there, and me getting the opportunity to play a little bit more in the big leagues. 500 means a lot to me because I mean, it's a special day, a special moment, and hopefully I can get 1,000 more. But those 500s, I know I have to work really, really hard to get there.
That's great. Nobody should ever say anything. Enjoy those moments, man. I don't think and I know I don't. It's a big problem I've had throughout my life is I don't appreciate enough in the moment, Miguel.
Same.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Sometimes I got caught up so many times on what the people will say, you know, instead of just enjoying my moment. I remember one thing that I say before making it to the big leagues, and it was, I just want to play in the big leagues one day, get my hit, and then I can die, you know. I always say that. Now that I played over 7 years, I actually like want to get better and want to get more. And sometimes I don't enjoy little moments like I supposed to, you know. Like yeah. I wish I can do a better job with that. And then now that I'm talking about it, I'm probably gonna do it like even more.
Yeah, we're always looking for something else, right? It's weird. I mean, This is the first time in a decade for me personally where I don't have a daily baseball show, and it has pissed me off to no end. I've been grumpy. I've been moody. I've been upset. This has been a wonderful platform. Like, I've loved getting to know you guys, bringing something different to the baseball world, which we could never have these conversations on Intentional Talk. But for whatever reason, I have felt like my worth as a human being was attached to that show. And that is something that I've had to work through. And it's been really hard. I have to admit, I have to tell you that it's been very difficult. There have been days where I've woken up and I've been like, I've been angry, I've been sad, I've been depressed, and I haven't been thankful enough to have an opportunity like this, to have a healthy family, to be happy in so many other aspects.
Yeah, you know. Remember, like a lot of things happen to us in different ways. For baseball players, a lot of things that you learn it from the game. Now you're learning something in your life that is actually like making you better. and making you like, you know what? There's like a million other things that you can do that make you happy. But
Right.
you was blind before because you had your show every single day that you knew you was comfortable going and doing it, right? But now that you in this time of your life that you get to do something better, which is getting into baseball players' life, out of the field, struggles, good times, good stories, things that you never probably gonna experience doing your other show, you know? So that's why, I mean, we always learning something new every single day. And I'm glad that you're learning this because it's gonna, I mean, just make you better. Yeah.
No, you're right. And like I posted on social media, my youngest son is a 15-year-old freshman in high school, and he's playing varsity ball. And he got his first hit. Like that was awesome, you know, and put it on social media, not to be like, hey, look, my son got his first hit, but just because I was so proud of him. You know, he's played since he was 4 years old, and I quit after 8th grade. I wasn't good enough. I always told my kids, I said, I quit too early. Do not quit playing sports, you know. And he had it, and when he turned to all the seniors that are in the dugout and gave him a fist pump, I was like, that's what it's about.
Exactly.
It's pretty damn cool.
Imagine how I feel seeing my 5-year-old, you know, hitting against a coach pitch when he hit through everybody, you know, and he's running to first base and he's doing the right thing. Sometimes I teach him some things at home, you know, that I don't even know if he's gonna remember. And the other day he made me so proud just with one play. The ball was hitting the air. He was running at second base. So you know how this T-ball or coach is. You know, you run to first base, you stay there. Then he went to second base and he got a run at first and second. And I was trying to explain him how the game goes. You know, I want him to kind of fall in love for the game. So I'm talking to him at home. Hey, when you're running at second base and you have a runner behind you and they hit a pop-up, you have to wait until the ball lands so you can run. You know, in these games, like a lot of the kids, they don't know the rules. They don't know what's going on. So for me, it was so good that when I hit a pop-up, he stayed on second base until the ball drops. And then he started running. So that made me so proud. Even a play that, I mean, a lot of people don't know what's going on, but it makes me feel happy, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And by the way, people that are home are like, wait a second, first and second and less than 2 outs should have been an infield fly. Hey, this is coach pitch. Folks, we don't introduce the infield fly to like a little bit later in life. Calm down. Exactly. Slow your roll. All right. Last thing before we bring in Justin Turner. You are in the NL East. I've got 2 co-hosts that are in that division as well. You faced Trevor May. Like when one of my children in Miguel Rojas is facing another one of my children in Trevor May, what do I do? How do I root for this?
Well, you have a tough one there, but I mean, at least you know that he got me out the first time, you know. Yeah. So next time you can root for a base hit, you know, like maybe not a 3-run homer or something like that, you know, something that is not gonna hurt him or hurt his career, you know. There's a base hit here, and probably he's gonna be able to, you know, to regroup and got the inning after my base hit or maybe a double, you know.
Well, it was interesting because I asked him. I said, "Did you even think about Miggy being another co-host?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "He steps in the batter's box." I was like, "Oh, it's another co-host." Like, did you think anything about that?
I did 100%, and even more because you're being posting on social media and the Chris Rose rotation as well. When I got there, I know everybody who's a co-host, so I don't really pay much attention when I'm in the box. But I mean, I definitely knew that he was pitching, and next time I probably giving you got me out. Now give me a fastball.
Yeah.
I can get my base hit to center.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough. The guy throws 98. I mean, it's not like, you know, he's just rolling it up there about 88.
Exactly.
All right. You ready to go meet up with a former teammate of yours and Justin Turner?
Let's do it, man. Can't wait to see JT again.
We apologize for interrupting the fantastic program you are listening to, but we got to tell you about DraftKings. Jake, what sport are they giving out their crazy bet on this time?
John, my UFC huge fight coming up. Masvidal versus Snoozman Usman, who's really good, but he lost my trust once because all he did was stomp his feet, but now he's actually fighting because he heard everybody hates that. So I'm back in. I'm excited for this fight.
Well, at DraftKings, just bet $5 on either fighter to win, and if they walk out with the belt, you will cash $130. Easy as that. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code ROSE when you sign up to turn $5 into $130 if the title contender of your choice wins. Place your bet and watch the fists fly this weekend. That's code ROSE to turn $5 into $130 if the fighter of your choosing takes home the crown. For a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Chris Rose rotation on John Boy Media continues on. Well, you know him, you love him. There's nobody in MLB that looks quite like this. That would be Justin Turner of the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Do you get used to that yet?
No, I think that's going to take a while, but it does sound good.
Okay, nice. I got former teammates here, by the way, Justin Turner and Miguel Rojas. Miggy, when did you first meet JT?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but my first experience in United States, it was actually in Sarasota, Florida, right? So I didn't come to spring training. I got invited to extended spring training. When you're in the minor leagues, after spring training is over, you have this time that is extended spring training. So everybody goes to their league, but then before the GCL starts, which is the Gulf Coast League, is a rookie ball. So I stayed there, and Justin Turner was playing shortstop and second base for the Sarasota team, the high A team. So that was my first time kind of getting to know. I mean, I didn't get to know JT until like when we played together with the Dodgers, and we got the minor league invite to the spring training, and we was kind of battling for the same spot, like actually I got invited there to play second base a little bit, even when I'm a shortstop, but I was over there because it was like an empty spot. And then JT, I was so happy for this guy because when he got to LA, he got to win that spot and he got to earn to play every day. He started as a platoon player over there, with D. Gordon, and Australia trip and all that stuff, man. He can tell you a little bit more about our relationship, but that's how we started.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, me and Miggy both benefit from the National League not having a DH, right? Like we both kind of got our foot in the door and made our mark as utility guys who can play all over the field. And then as time kind of evolved, kind of turned ourselves into better offensive players and found ourselves in the starting lineup. So as an old guy who kind of is leaning towards vouching for the DH, I still have a hard time doing it because I probably wouldn't be here today if there was a DH in both leagues. But Miggy, one of the best teammates I've ever had. Just his passion for the game, love for the game, the way I could watch Miggy take a ground ball on loop for days, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch him do his thing.
Same thing here, man. I have to say the same thing. We all know the DH are gonna be the right thing to do, going forward and not seeing pitchers hit. But I don't think I will have the opportunity to be in the big leagues right now if it's not because of the opportunity of the bench player or the utility guy, double switches, defensive guy later in games. Like I remember, man, me and JT sitting on the bench waiting for an opportunity. He always pinch hit and then stay in the game. I always came in defensive replacement for Henry Ramirez, short, and that was the beauty of having that spot, And now players are gonna have to transition themselves into really good hitters early, because if not, you're probably not gonna find a spot in the lineup.
That's really interesting. I never even thought of it that way, but you guys are so similar from the standpoint, Miggy, we've talked about this. It took you 9 years to get to the major leagues. Like a lot of guys will say, I'm done. Like I'm good. I gave it a shot. I'm out of here. Justin, you made it at an early age, but released by the Orioles, released by the Mets. I want to start with you, Justin. I want to have you follow up, Miggy. Was there a time where you thought before you signed with the Dodgers, like, God, it might not happen the way I thought it would?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't actually sign in 14 until about a week before spring training. So there was some serious panic going on. Like, what is happening? I don't know if I'm going to continue on being able to play. And then actually, it was weird. I actually had 3 teams kind of come in late. It was the Twins, the Red Sox, and the Dodgers. And I had to make a decision about a week before spring training, and going back to the DH in the National League and being a bench player in one league versus the other. The main reason I chose to come to the Dodgers, not just because it was coming home and the Dodgers were a good team, but I wanted the opportunity to be in the National League and get at bats. I looked at Skip Schumacher and Michael Young and Nick Punto and their Jerry Harrison Jr. They all had 250 plus at bats, and then I go and I look at the Red Sox and I look at their bench guys and they had like 80 at bats. So it was a no-brainer for me to come and sign with the Dodgers just for the sheer fact of getting opportunity.
So excited to listen to a story like JT. And I don't want to talk about myself, but I mean, you see a guy in the mid-30s signing a large contract, that's motivation for a lot of players. That's like drive for a lot of people who's playing baseball and they think they're done. And those in the industry of baseball right now, you know how hard it is to stay in the game when you're older, and I mean, a story like this, it just keep me going, because I'm 32 years old and I continue to try to go for another contract, like I want to be in a good shape, always trying to get better. And that's what JT did, and I did it myself. I knew that I couldn't be in the big leagues if I wasn't able to hit. I probably was going to be there for maybe a year or two, being a defensive replacement and a guy here and there. But I got the necessity of getting better offensively. And I guess you did the same thing, JT. And he changed his swing. He did a bunch of things that helped him getting to the point. But at the end of the day, it's the opportunity to play every day. That's how you get better. Because if you don't play every day and you're just coming in here and there, it's really hard to hit 4 homers when you get 10 at-bats, So now JT had the opportunity to sign this big contract when he's in the mid-30s, and that gave me fired up because I feel like I can do the same thing.
Yeah, that's a stigma around baseball, and that was something that was important to me this offseason going into free agency is, old guys, there's no room in the game for old guys anymore. And like I said, that was something that was important to me, for me, to kind of raise the bar and push forward for older players to have opportunities to still sign good deals. And, there was a lot of talk in the media about wanting a 4-year deal, which would have pushed me until I was 40. And I think everyone knew that was a little bit of a stretch, but for me, like, I do want to play till I'm 40. I want to play until as long as I can, until someone has to rip the uniform off my back, because, I love the game. And being able to accomplish the contract that I did and kind of raise the bar for, like you said, for guys like you, for guys around the league who love the game and want to play it forever. That's something that I'm probably the most proud of about, what happened this offseason.
But Justin, you and I have talked offline. Could you enjoy being a world champion this offseason, or because it was weighing on you about free agency? I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to come back to the team I love and all that sort of stuff. Could you appreciate it? Or were you waking up every day and you're like, God damn, what the hell is going on here?
Well, in a normal year, that free agency would probably be the only weight on my shoulder about not being able to celebrate a championship. But there were so many other things going on with the way the year ended, and the lockdowns and no parades, and like there wasn't really an enjoyment of winning that championship for me until we got our rings the other day in our home opener. So that was just being a free agent, not hearing from the Dodgers for a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, was only part of, the non-enjoyment of what we had just accomplished.
Were you close to going somewhere else?
From the get-go, from about a week out of the season ending, I was in contact with the Blue Jays, had a lot of conversations with the Blue Jays. And there was a point where I thought I was going to receive an offer from the Blue Jays before I'd even gotten a phone call from the Dodgers. So that was a little, it had me a little nervous, actually. Like what do I do if I have a great offer from a team and I haven't even heard from the Dodgers yet? Like what happens then? But they ended up signing Marcus Semien to the 1-year deal, and I got a text saying that they have this deal in place, and they're gonna obviously not pursue me anymore. And that's when things kind of evolved with the Dodgers and the Brewers, and it was competitive from the Brewers. They really wanted me. They dug deep. They had I had multiple calls and Zoom calls. I had got calls from Mark Kotze. I got calls from Trevor Hoffman. I got calls from Yelich and Counsell, and I talked to Stearns multiple times, and I talked to Antanasio, their owner. So, I mean, the pursuit was real. The offer was real. The interest was real. At the end of the day, it just came down to, I think I'm where I'm supposed to be, and that's back with the Dodgers.
I don't think there's any question about that. Miggy, you are friends with, you played with a lot of the guys who lifted the commissioner's trophy last year. Was it difficult for you to watch your old team win that? Was there a sense of jealousy, or were you just super proud?
Well, I think we talked about this the first episode, and I said, man, every time any other team that is not your team that getting that trophy, you're not gonna feel good about it, because you're playing the same league, you're seeing the same opportunity, and especially us, the Marlins, that we are making strive of getting better and getting there. And I've been such a up and down moments here in Miami that when you get to the point where you have a series against the Braves and then you see the Dodgers beating the Braves after that, I mean, you always say, I had the opportunity to be there, I deserve that opportunity to be against the Dodgers in that series and see how it is. So it's not jealousy, because I love the guys over there. I mean, I got a great relationship with Jock Peterson, Cody Bellinger. I see Cody Bellinger when he was like 150 pounds in the minor leagues, and I know how Corey became like the Corey that he is right now. It's all about the chemistry that these guys have in that clubhouse. Like, I left right before this team kind of got together, because I know, I mean, the Dodgers spent 8 years in a row, or 9 years, or now 10 years. I don't know how many years making it to the playoff and winning the division. But that chemistry that they got in that clubhouse is different. And it's come all from like JT, the guys who have been there before. Corey Seager, I used to call Corey Seager the prospect. When I was there playing shortstop, I was like a backup player, but he was a prospect, and I called Corey a prospect. Now he's a superstar. So I'm happy for them, but I'm not happy that I wasn't the one lifting the trophy. But I mean, congratulations once again to the Dodgers and all the players. And I have really, really good friends on that team, and guys that I always going to remember forever.
It's nice. So how sweet is the ring, dude?
Yeah, they did a really good job. They did a really, really good job. The whole presentation is awesome. And, it comes in a box, you pop it open. There's a motorized kind of platform that the ring sits on, so it spins. And then in the lid of the box, there's a video that plays that's kind of like a highlight montage from all of 2020, going all the way back to when we got news that the season was being shut down, all the way through the championship. So they really did a good job. I was a little nervous because, the Dodgers, LA, Hollywood, we can be a little flashy, a little showy. And I thought they got out of control on the ring, but they kept it nice and clean, and it looks really good.
So, family, friends, have they come over to stare at that thing yet?
Well, we're still in COVID protocol. We can't really do anything, man. So
That's right.
No one's seen.
Man, oh man, the thing looks awesome though. All right, so do you sit and have you sat at home and just kind of taken it out and stared at it yourself?
Yeah, so the first morning I woke up and put it on, went downstairs and opened up the newspaper and read it. I think I actually posted a picture on Instagram of me.
By the way, you're the only person under 75 that still reads the LA Times.
Yeah, Court just ordered it about 2 weeks ago, and she's like, "I want the newspaper," and I was like, "Yeah, I want the crossword."
That's right. That's right. JT is a big crossword guy, and
That's right. You know, Miggy.
yeah, 100%. You guys still playing cards over there?
What's
Like,
that?
you guys still playing pluck and cards over there like you used to, or not?
We just got some pluck back up and going
Nice.
a couple days ago. So we got a couple new Jimmy Nelson and Corey Knievel are big pluck players. So
Okay.
me and Barnesy got our asses kicked.
That's awesome, man. I that's one of the things that I remember the most about being on that team. I remember at what time I was the only rookie on the team. Like, you know, we got Adrian Gonzalez, we got Juan Uribe, we got Henry Rue, all of these guys, big card players, domino. I mean, it was an like exciting experience. More than playing for the Dodgers, I played for a team full of stars, you know, and that's what I'm gonna remember the most about that year. I didn't really enjoy LA that much because I was so like, I wanted to keep that job, you know, like I wanted to be there for the rest of the year, but I gonna remember those times forever, for sure.
I felt the same way, dude. I when I walked in the clubhouse in spring training, actually I didn't. When I first got there in 2014, I went to the wrong clubhouse. I was in the minor league clubhouse for a couple of days, and then they're like, "What are you doing here? You got to go on the other side." So when I walked in the big league clubhouse for the first time, and I looked around, and it was, you know, Kershaw, Beckett, Greinke, Gonzo, Uribe, Hanley, Dre, Matt Kemp, Brian Wilson. Like, I was just like, whoa, like where am I? Like, I don't even know if I belong here. This is crazy.
It was crazy. Got the same feeling, dude. It's amazing. It was amazing.
So who welcomes you to a clubhouse like that, Justin?
You know, one of the first guys I met was actually Jock, and he was in the, because he was on the minor league side, and I walked in and I started talking to him, and then came over to the big league side. I actually hung out with D a lot, and spent a lot of time with Miggy because we're infielders and doing a lot of stuff. So, but it was a group of, it was like me, Miggy, Sean Figgins, D, Justin Sellers. We're all kind of like in this utility infielder group that we're trying to make the team at the time. So, you know, we spent a lot of time doing drills and working together and trying to figure out who was going to be. Justin Sellers came up to me the first day and was like, "Hey, dog, like, it's me and you, bro. Like, me and you are gonna take this." Like, all right. I'm like, all right, cell block. Like,
all right. So, more interesting teammate for you guys, Brian Wilson or Zack Greinke?
Wow.
Well, more interesting is 100% Brian Wilson. Like, this guy was unbelievable. I have to thank him. He did get me into Settlers of Catan, the board game. I don't know, Miggy, if you remember me, him, and Slikey playing that all the time, which is a great game. But Brian had some things going on that were weird.
Yeah, man. One of the things that I remember about Brian the most is my first year in the big leagues, right? And then you see Brian Wilson in the 5th inning. I'm a bench player, right? I'm around the cage. I'm trying to get loose. We always had the lead, you know, with that pitching staff, we always had the lead. And I have to play 120 games that year. And I got called up in June, you know? I mean, I didn't get so many at-bats. I was like more 7, 8, 9 inning playing defense. But in the 5th inning, I'm around the cage, and I'm seeing Brian Wilson, and he asked me every single time, "Hey, can you feed the machine for me?" Dude, Brian Wilson is in the 5th inning, is active. He's gonna pitch in the 8th or the 9th. I don't know that I think Kenley was a closer, like in that time. But Brian Wilson in the 4th, 5th inning, he's taking hacks in the cage, and he want me to feed the machine. So that's one of the things that I will never forget about Brian Wilson. Zack Greinke cracked me out too, because some days he say hi to me, and some days he acts like he didn't even know me or knew who I am. So that's a tough question for you.
I got a quick Wilson story and a quick Zack Greinke story for you. So my favorite Brian Wilson moment was, I believe it was in early 2015, and he was struggling. He had like a 15 or a 16 ERA, and he had these sick cleats. Miggy, you remember those cleats that said like, it said Wheezy Wood or whatever it was?
And the bear or whatever.
So he had these custom cleats that were there. I mean, they were awesome, but he just wasn't pitching well in the beginning of the year. And he got taken out of a game after he just given up a couple runs. And he comes in the dugout, takes his cleats off, his custom cleats, takes his jersey off, takes his hat off, takes his belt off. So he's basically in this cut off shirt and his pants. And he takes everything and he slams it in the trash can. He's like, I don't deserve to be wearing this custom stuff. I deserve to be wearing Dick's Sporting Good cleats. And from that day on, he wore like just generic like blue Nike cleats because he wasn't pitching good enough to deserve to wear the cleats that he was wearing. I thought that was one thing that I'll never forget about Brian Wilson. And then the Zack Greinke story is he helped me kind of become the hitter that I am today, because I actually sat next to him on the bench one night and I asked him, I said, Greinke, if you were pitching to me, how do you get me out? And in Greinke fashion, and Miggy, you can attest to this, he'll be like, well, he won't answer you. He'll say, let me go look at something. I'll go look it up and then I'll get back to you.
100%.
So the next day he comes back to me and I'm like, well, what do you got? And he's like, I would throw you 100 straight fastballs away. And I said, what are you talking about, dude? Like 70% of my hits are the other way. And he's like, yeah, but all your hits are closer to you. You take the ball that's close to you and you shoot it the other way. He's like, you don't do anything on the ball out over. And I asked him, I said, well, do you think I should stand on top of the plate? And he said, if I were you, I would get as close to the plate as you possibly can. And from that day forward, I stood on top of the plate, and now I'm the all-time hit by pitch leader for the Dodgers because of Greinke.
So does he know that now when he's facing you? Well, I mean, now he's in the American League. You don't see him that much, but I mean, he faced you a ton in Arizona.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's a really smart guy. I'm pretty sure he remembers that conversation that we had. So, but he doesn't throw me all fastballs away. He still throws me changeups and sliders and that EFIS curveball. So,
yeah, of course. It's Zack. And I got a quick story. I don't know if you remember this. JT, it was right there. It was in 14. In the middle of the year, Donnie have a meeting with us. I don't know what happened, if we were playing good or not. I don't know. Like, I guess we were playing not that good, and Donnie want to say something. And then you see Zack never say anything in meetings, right? He's always sitting there. He barely says stuff, right? So by the end of the meeting, Zack raised his hand, and everybody like pay attention, and like everybody like look at him like what this guy gonna do and what he's gonna say. So his comment was, hey, I'm really worried about one thing. I'm seeing a lot of people going to the bathroom and they coming out and they're not washing their hands.
Hey, true story. Hey,
Right.
Donnie just poured his heart out to us in this meeting about like playing good, and Zach's like, man, wash your hands.
And this is not about COVID or anything. We're
No.
not dealing with any pandemic or anything. He's just, hey man, I got one concern, and it's every time you guys go to the bathroom, I see people coming out not washing their hands. Man, that was one of the weird but funny things that happened. Like, I don't know if anything else is gonna happen, like something like that, but it was just
oh my God, that's great. So this podcast is being released as you are getting ready to play the Padres for the second time in a week. To me, as a baseball fan, the one that just concluded in San Diego looked like it was more fun than the first few rounds of the playoffs a year ago. Am I off base?
Yeah, it had a little bit of everything. It was an exciting series. It was well pitched. It was well played. The fans were super into it, and I think it was, I mentioned in the offseason that I really enjoyed what the Padres were doing for their roster for the game of baseball. I think it was really good to see them go out and make moves and want to improve. And I also said that, it's probably going to feel like 19 World Series games. And I think the first 3 kind of lived up to the hype. So looking forward to the next round.
Did you watch, Miggy? Or did you have time as a fan to watch any of those games?
Yeah, of course, man. When you see this is in national TV, they're playing the West Coast. We already with our game are over, and that's what the first thing that you do, especially when you're on the road. You don't have family there. I tune in, man, in whatever, like MLB Network or whatever it is, and you're seeing games like this, and you always want to watch. And then when you see that happen in the first game, it's like, what else can happen? And then you end up the second game with that catch. I think it was the second game, right? When Mookie made that catch.
Yeah.
It's unreal, like things like keep happening for these great teams. And that's what you want for baseball, You want like teams to get better so they can, and the Dodgers, I know the Dodgers are going to get better just because the other teams in the division are playing well. We just faced the Giants, and the Giants got a pretty good club. And I mean, you guys going to see a lot of good battles in the West, like in the East. You see the teams in the East, and everybody's good pitching everywhere, and that's what you want because that's how baseball's supposed to be. So I'm enjoying the series for sure.
I thought you were talking about my catch yesterday, Miggy. I didn't know you were talking about.
Oh yeah, I just saw that on Trevor's, and it was pretty funny because you were safe.
Yeah.
Dude, how long are you gonna wear that one?
Oh, I as long as people want to. I mean, I already laughed at myself. It doesn't matter. I was laughing as soon as it happened. So if you can't enjoy the game, if you can't enjoy moments like that, whether you're winning or losing, then you got something wrong with you. So that was great. I'm just glad it would happen to me because I could laugh at myself.
I'm surprised that it doesn't happen more often, to be honest with you. I'm shocked.
Yeah, usually one of the first things you do is you find the base. But the wind was blowing pretty hard in, and me and Seager both broke back almost to the outfield grass, and then the ball ended up almost in front of the base. So I just kind of lost track of where it was, where I was. I was just making sure I caught it, which I did. So that's why I don't care about tripping over the base. If I would have dropped it, then I probably wouldn't have brought that up today.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
That's exactly, that's the point. If you don't catch the ball, you're not laughing about it, because you catch it, you don't care if whatever happened after, it's gonna become like a good entertainment video. But if you don't catch that, it's like embarrassing.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Did you see the sign? I don't know if you can see signs, but it was huge. There was one that said "Check Bauer's balls." Did you see that in the stands?
I didn't see it, but I believe it.
I mean,
they took the first ball, one pitch, and they took the ball out. So
I'm sure. How's he been, by the way?
He's been great. Yeah,
he's different.
He's different, but he just wants to win. He wants to compete. He wants to, set the bar higher and higher for himself every time he takes the mound, and that's what we care about. We care about competing and giving ourselves a chance to win every day. And, that's what he's about. Every fifth day, he goes out and takes the ball, and he wants to give us a chance to win.
Yeah, who cares? That's good. Different is good. All right, a couple more things. Did you ever think that your most famous home run that you would have ever hit, even though you've hit him in the World Series and a walk-off in the NLCS, would end up in somebody's nachos? I mean, come on. Like,
No, but that was pretty funny. I remember going around first and like seeing the guy, and I didn't know it was nachos at the time, but I saw that something splattered all over him. And then they reviewed the Homer, and when they showed it on the Jumbotron, I realized it was nachos. So that was that guy was drenched in cheese.
And I think he got a new jacket, and you guys giving a little nice
hooked him up
basket or something. It was really nice. That's the Dodgers way, man. It's just class.
That's the JT.
Yeah, so I went in the clubhouse and got and asked Sergio, one of our clubhouse guys. I said, "Hey man, can you go buy this guy some new nachos?" I just destroyed his nachos, and I didn't know what they were at the time, but I think they're like $19 nachos at Dodger Stadium, right? So that's. I don't care what kind of baseball you're getting. That's not worth the $19 nacho. So Sergio ran out a new plate of nachos. I made sure he gave him a nice big side of jalapenos as well. And then I guess the Dodgers, brought out some sweatshirts and gave him a change of clothes. So that was cool.
Dude, it was on the freaking national news on ABC. Did a 2-minute piece on it. The national news.
So every time I make a play or something at Dodger Stadium now, Dieter Rule, our organist, plays Macho Man, but everyone sings Nacho Man. So
that's cute. All right, a couple other things before we let you go. You always you're great on social media, and you ask for all the great artwork that people want to send in. People have gotten Justin Turner tattoos on their body. First of all, this one, give him credit. He's a JT fan. You don't look like that, bro. Like you're much more handsome than that, I think.
Which one?
Oh, they were showing the one on the arm of the dude, and it looks like you put on 80 pounds in your face.
Yeah, the face is kind
of... Yeah. I get some tough Justin Turner lookalikes, not just in tattoos, in real life, man. I think that everyone who has a red beard, someone tells me that they look just like me. So yeah, I don't know. It's just part of it. You have a red beard, then everyone just thinks they look like you. And now the tattoos, I guess I'm honored. I'm humbled. Thank you for getting a tattoo of me, regardless of what it looks like.
Would you like it, Miggy, if somebody walked around South Beach with a Miguel Rojas face on their left ass cheek?
Well, we haven't get to a point where like a lot of people know like who our players are, but we're on the way, That's what we want to accomplish. And it's probably not gonna be me, but it might be just Chisholm. You see how many people in the stands already with the blue hair.
Yeah.
Hey, that hair is sick. His hair is thick. I like his hair.
Yeah. So you see, like a lot of guys are gonna just bring that into fans, and that's sometimes what like franchises need, like a guy like him here and there, a good veteran presence and starting pitching, and then you end up like doing something like that. I'm just happy that, man, like we growing our fan base every single day. The other day I retweet something on social media, and after the walk-off win that we just got against the Giants, it was a pretty wild game. I never seen something in Miami like that. People posting a video with people like going down the stairs chanting "Let's go Marlins" or "Let's go Miami" or whatever it is, and that makes me happy and wanted to go harder for those guys because we have been trying so hard on the field, and I know the front office are doing the same on their part. But we want fans to continue to get engagement.
Yeah, it's good thought. And Justin, you mentioned that everybody who's got a red beard thinks they're number 10. Well, there's a guy that you've actually done some acting with that has a red beard. All right, for people that haven't seen Tungus, here we go.
Hey, how was your first day as the groundskeeper, Tungus?
Awesome! And Tungus worked up appetite.
Give me the keys.
Sorry. Justin prefer hamburgers?
It's okay, buddy. I got a better idea. And this time, we'll get to work together.
Together!
Yeah.
That's it? Yeah? That's all you got? Yeah?
Well, is it freaky? Is it freaky when you are hugging a Tungus like that? It's a little strange.
Well, actually, I've done a lot of work with Tungus in AMP, so I've gotten to know Tungus pretty well, and I think we work well together. I think we're a good team. We actually had, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not. Last year we had a kind of campaign skit that was supposed to come out. It might actually be coming out this year, but we did a lot of work together. Everyone says if me and Kenley Jansen had a baby, it'd be Tungus, right? Like
that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
It is dead on.
Kenley gave him the height for sure.
Yeah.
He hooked you up. All right, before we let you go, we get to spin the wheel of moderately interesting things. You guys will answer a question. You'll be on your way. It'll be perfect. Here we go.
What is that, a wheel for ants? Needs to be at least 3 times bigger than that.
This is all we can afford in the budget, by the way. Double play. Oh, well, speaking of, both you guys can answer this. Who is your Hollywood body double? Who's going to play you in the movie? Justin Turner?
Oh. You know what? I'm gonna go funny on this, and at my own expense. Shermanator from American Pie.
Shermanator could play a young you.
And I'm not gonna take credit for this. This is actually a nickname that PJ Piliteri, who's the assistant hitting guy with the New York Yankees right now, gave me in college. So we were going back and forth at Cal State Fullerton on the bus, exchanging some name calling, and he dropped the Shermanator on me, and it was over. There's no.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Miguel, who's your body double?
I gotta say, like Justin Timberlake and that Fast Pitch movie, whatever. I don't know. It's a baseball movie that he was kind of a scout. You know, I gotta see him. I'm not a big movie guy, so yeah, I'm not into the movie. So
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll find an actor for you. That was good. And Justin, since you were a great guest today, as always, you don't leave empty-handed. So here we go. Don, tell him what he won. Justin, the Chris Rose rotation promises that host Chris Rose will never, ever say anything creepy about your wife, Courtney, ever again. As for Kevin Millar, we can't make that promise. We are no longer responsible for him. But Chris won't say anything creepy. Once again, that's courtesy of the Chris Rose rotation.
You know, I wasn't worried about it because Uncle 1-5 isn't here, so I was never really worried about it.
But we just want you to have that out there, okay? Good.
Thank you. That's a great gift.
It was great catching up with you. Awesome start to the season. Keep crushing it out there. And, when we do eventually get to all hang out for drinks, I do want to see that ring up close at some point.
All right. Sounds good. Mickey, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, keep doing it, bro. I'll see you down the road.
I don't know when we play each other, but can't wait to see you.
I don't want to see that far. I don't want to see that far into the calendar yet. I'm worrying about tomorrow.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. See ya.
I got to tell you, I loved just listening to you and JT chop it up, man. It's interesting because you guys were competing like for one of the same spots, and you can tell the amount of respect you have for one another.
Yeah, man. You spend more time with your teammates and the players that you're around during a full season than your own family, and you create that special bond that even when I play with JT just 1 year, I mean, it's gonna just carry out forever because that guy helped me, and in some capacity, I help him as well, and we become everyday players after that year, and that's the most important thing about it. We talk about how important it is to keep pushing the envelope and keep trying to get better to be an everyday player. And I mean, I think a lot of players will leave our legacy now, that we already did it and other players can do it as well.
It's awesome. All right. Miguel Rojas, one of the top students in the class of the Chris Rose rotation. So says the teacher, Michelle Rose. Let's see how he did on his homework assignment.
Hi guys, I'm currently in New York City, and as you guys remember, my homework of this last episode was doing something really New Yorker. So I want to talk to you guys about what I'm doing here. I'm just walking around Times Square. That's the best thing that I could have come with because I don't really like the city of New York. I'm not a big fan, but I enjoy coming here. And especially a day like today, we just came out of the ballpark. We got a win against Jacob deGrom and the Mets, so it was a pretty special day. So I wanna show you guys around. When you walk in New York and come to Times Square, you see a lot of lights. That's one of the things that I enjoy the most about New York. Coming here to Times Square, seeing all the lights, all the things that they got going here, They got Elmo, Transformers back there. So for you guys. That's the homework of the last episode that I got. So hope you guys enjoy. See you guys soon.
That was awesome. So good.
That's the best thing that I could have come up, because I was like you guys see, we still under protocols, you know. We can do so many things, and we can only walk in open spaces. Can't really go and sit inside and eat in a restaurant yet, because we're still under the vaccination process and all that. So I actually I'm that's what I like about New York. I don't like so much about the city, and I don't really want to go and see so much more. So there you go.
Yeah, Times Square is great. I mean, you just nailed it on the head. They have like the naked cowboy, and they have, you know, the Transformers, and you mentioned Elmo. Does your kid like Elmo? Like,
no, he was really happy because I FaceTime him, and a Pokemon was there, Pikachu. So he's big on Pokemon right now. So he's been watching Pokemon, and when I show him the enormous Pikachu, he was so happy throughout the phone. Got it.
All right. Well, your homework assignment, I don't know if it's going to be difficult or not, but you're actually heading out to San Francisco, which is one of my favorite cities. I love it out there, in part because the shopping is just sensational. I don't know. Are you allowed to go out and shop?
I always trying to go and, you know, check for shoes. You know me already. So I gonna be going, and I probably gonna get a pair of shoes. So
okay,
give it to me.
It was perfect. That was it. I was saying, my man's got to be shoe shopping out in San Francisco. So take us on a little video tour of the idea of shoe shopping, what you look for in certain shoes and stuff like that. Is that cool?
This one is gonna be easy, and I'm gonna do it with I have something to say to everybody, you know, like I need to go blogging and do a shoe shopping.
I love it. I love it. By the way, Mrs. Rose gave you another A. So you can tell your family that you're doing exceptionally well. You're off to a great start in your career in the Chris Rose rotation. I'm sure colleges will look at this transcript and say, wow, this is a straight A student who turns his homework not only in on time, but early. Sent that a week early.
Of course. I mean, I every time I'm doing something, I'm trying to do the best that I can, you know, like I'm not just going to go and roll out and say, hey, I'm not prepared for this, you know, like, okay, whatever. I'm a major league baseball player. He needs to weigh on me or whatever. Nah.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right.
Hopefully, I'm just gonna say this. Hopefully some other students in the class will take note, Miguel, of your performance, because we've had a few that they need to pick it up a little bit.
I need to get on them. Just give me the name on private, and I will shoot them a text message, and I say, hey, whoever it is, man, come on, get it done.
I'm with you 1,000%. Miggy, it was great catching up with you as always. Best to your family. Hope you had fun today, my friend.
It was really fun, man. I continue to feel better and comfortable, and I'm seeing a lot of people supporting the show. Continue to see what we're doing here. You guys gonna love the stories, you know, and we're always gonna bring more stories to you guys, like the one that we did today. Greinke, Brian Wilson.
Oh, it's great.
A lot of other guys, and I mean, continue the support. Share with the people. Share with your friends everywhere you are. In Venezuela, people, thank you, gracias por apoyarnos y todo. Thank you all very much, man. I'll see you guys next time.
We appreciate it. So once again, on YouTube, if you're on our John Boy Media Baseball channel, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment there, and wherever you download your podcast, give us 5 stars. Miggy loves the 5 stars, plus a little comment there as well. Big shout out to our editor and engineer extraordinaire, Rob Scirocco. Great job as always. Miggy, we'll see you in a few weeks, and we will see you next time here on the Chris Rose Rotation, part of John Boy Media.